Hi everyone, Jackson here. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Tuesday the 2nd of September. We've got a 10 seal set, as always, you know how it is, time codes will be in the description if you just want to skip stuff. The patch just came out, like the new one, just part of the Seasons of the World Cult stuff. There's not really much that they've done worth talking about, but it's mostly just like fixes and just like slight additions to, or slight changes to the new dungeons and to the new zone. But a few things to note here: the group event in Rim and Necropolis, so in northern Elsewhere. So this one here, the group event has not been completable at this moment. Like what happens is you'll fight the regular enemies, and then one of the bosses that comes out, they never come out, they just don't show up. This has been fixed now. It's been like a issue that comes and goes. I'm pretty sure they fixed it before and then it stopped working again. So yeah, just another janky part of this game. There's one other thing, and that's to do with writs. So at the moment, anytime you do these three writs here, so clothing, I don't know why they put clothing and leather, because they're the same thing. But yeah, clothing, leather, I think they would have meant blacksmithing, maybe? But yeah, whatever. So some of the writs were giving you master writs instead of survey reports, which is good or bad, depending on which one that you want. So yeah, they fixed that now. There's also just some other stuff. One of the bosses in the Geons of Athelia DLCs, like, I'm guessing that the lava was damaging the boss or like the minions, maybe? That would have been funny. Yeah, everything else is just kind of other stuff. They've put in the master it bug like twice here, so yes, mostly just fluff at this point. Still no fix for Vanished Souls 2, unfortunately. We'll see how long it takes them to actually do anything about that. Right, this set isn't great, if I'm honest. Chitinous Foes isn't too bad. Dining Room Furnishings is probably one of the most annoying finishing ones to do, because finding a good dining item for cheap is like a pain in the ass usually. But we'll go through this one. So Thieves Trove is not too bad. Keep and Cyrodiil is definitely the worst. So yeah, if I were to choose Chitinous Foes, Thieves Trove, and Fish, or Dining Finishing if you've got one. So I'll start with Chitinous Foes. I think Dreg are the best for this. Mudcrabs aren't too bad either though. So Stonefalls is a couple of good places. Vivek's Antlers is usually where I go here. This has got Drake, and it's got quite a few. So as soon as you enter this area, there'll be a bunch here. So got this group here, pull this one, and then this one, and that'll be enough for 5. Let's group these together, and then kill all these guys at once. And that's your 5 Chitinous Foes. And yeah, you can run around here, there's tons of them all over the place. Usually there'll be enough for everybody, usually. It is an overland area, so if there's too many players, they will overrun it, but there are a lot of drag there. Another possible option is Shipwreck Strand. This boss is a mud crab, and it spawns a ton of little ones. So if this one's up, you can also use that. It's easy to get to this one too, because Devon's Watch is unlocked by default. The easiest way to get to Vivek's Antlers, if you haven't been here before, is to use Ebony Flask in-room through Home Tours, or you might already have it if you've... If you want to do the dining finishings, it might also be possible to just get that house for free. I'll show you how if you want to look at the dining finishings. But yeah, you can get this for free on an Ebonheart packed character, so you can do that. Or you can use either of these houses through Home Tours. So if you just look up, for example, Ebonheart Chateau, just here. So if you travel to this, go out the front door, this will take you out close to Vivek's Antlers. The other location for Dreg is in Stormhaven, in Wayrest. It's called Dregside over here. So there are quite a few dregs over here, same with over near the Dregwaters World Boss. There are lots of dregs in this location here that you can use as well. Just look for the little pools. There'll be a bunch out here, and yeah, there'll be a bunch around the World Boss. The World Boss also spawns like it has like a ton of like little ones around it too that are much weaker. Again, Home Tours would be the best way to get here if you haven't been before. Gardener House here, this is what you look up through Home Tours to get here pretty easily. If you want an instance one, if these places are too busy, Fungal Grotto 1 gives you a bunch of mudcrabs and dreg after the first boss. The first boss just takes a few minutes to get through, and from that point there is so many mudcrabs and dreg in there that you will not have any issues getting 5. dining furnishings time. So firstly, get yourself a free house. The easiest way is to go to this spot here, just north of the starting wayshrine that you have already in Vocal Guard. There's an NPC you can talk to with a quest. All you have to do to complete this is talk to her for a bit, and eventually you'll get a bit of gold, and you get a house here that'll show up if you don't have all 3 of them already. The house that you get depends on your alliance. So there's 3. So if you go to the houses tab in your map section, the houses that you have will show up in collected. So you'll either have the Rosy Lion, the Ebony Flask Inn Room, or you'll have the Morris Kiss Public House. One of these 3. You can get all 3 if you do this quest on 3 separate characters on 3 different alliances, which is good because they're all quite useful in their own ways. So unfortunately, unlike the other options where it's easy to just get a furnishing for quite cheap, like 100 or 250 gold, this one here, usually it's going to cost you a lot. There's 4 types of like items that count as dining furnishings. Chair is probably going to be the best, I think. It's usually the one you can find the cheapest. But yeah, anytime you do this, it's going to cost quite a bit of gold. But you just need 1, and at that point, you're set for any time this endeavor comes up from that point. So just look up all furnishings, and yeah, anything with chair, anything with table. So the Dread Slam, oh, that's lighting, sorry. Oh yeah, there's a few that aren't. Yeah, anything that has, so when you look at the item, it's like the link. Anything that has, it says furnishing, and then it says dining at the top left. Anything that has dining on that second part, that counts as a furnishing for this endeavor. Just look up anything like that. Yeah, table, bench, I believe. Yeah, benches count as dining furnishings, and then what's the other one? Hold on. So benches, chairs, counters, and tables. Not all of them with these names will count as a dining furnishing, but that's just like a general guide that you can just, or general reference. But yeah, you can see here, there's a lot of items that are expensive. That's the issue. But once you get one of these items, you buy that one, that's it. You're set. So let's have a look. There's a lot of chairs you should, oh god. Alright. Alternative number 1 is getting the common table slanted from a carpenter. You can craft this at level 1 in woodworking. So the only issue though is heartwood. Now pitch and nickel is pretty easy to get. They're both quite cheap. Pitch usually you can buy in big stacks or like small stacks for quite cheap. It's like 15 gold each. And then the nickel you also get for 15 gold each, and you can buy them directly from the carpenters. The heartwood is the issue though. If you want to buy these from guild stores, these are usually quite expensive themselves. Not as bad as most of the dining furnishings that you're going to be dealing with though. The problem is that they usually are sold in big quantities. That's what I have a problem with. Heartwood, they sell them. Oh wow, that'd be perfect. Just getting something like that. But yeah, they sell them in big stacks usually, like this, like hundreds of thousands of gold. Like good luck with that. Yeah, that is also another option. You can also get them by mining or chopping logs of wood in the environment, and you can get anywhere from 1 to 4 heartwood from a single log of wood. It's quite unreliable. You'll have to do a bunch to get that. But honestly, I think it's worth it today because you make the work now that will take a little while, but once you've got that furnishing, that's it. The dining room furnishing is really easy to do from that point. Alright, so there's another alternative if you don't want to go through all that, if you want to make it pretty quick. This chair here, this is in the purchase menu of the housing editor. You go to dining chairs here and the Argonian chair rough. As far as I'm aware, this is the cheapest dining item that you can get from the purchase menu. That being said, if there's any instance where I can just like not spend crowns, I'll fucking do it. Like I'll spend gold at any point, even if it's like thousands. But yeah, I just want to provide that too because that is an alternative. It's your crowns. It's your choice to do what you want to do with it. But yeah, it's just something I wouldn't recommend. Now, if you have a large house and you want to check if you have a dining furnishing, you can also go to the retrieve section here, and anything in the dining category will show up here. So I've got one chair here just as an example to show you. So once you've got your item, it needs to go. if you want it to work, it has to be placed from your inventory. If you pick up an item and place it back down, like left-click spam, nothing happens. There is an easy way to spam it, though. So if you go to your menu here, we go place dining, we've got our high elf chair here, and I'll just go ahead and place it basically where it was. If I undo redo instead of picking it up and putting it in my inventory, it's much quicker. So undo, redo. And yeah, you can just do it as many times as you want. So now, in the future, now that you've got your dining furnishing and you just place it somewhere, you can come back in whenever you get this endeavor again. You can pick it up, put it away, undo, redo, undo. And that will count as placing it twice for the endeavor. So yeah, that's the way I usually go about doing these. I have all my items just put away in like a side alley somewhere in one of my houses, and then whenever the endeavor comes up, I just find the item specifically, or just look up the in the retrieve section, and then grab it, exit here, and then undo, redo, undo. Yeah, that's usually pretty straightforward from there. There are a couple of houses that come up with one, that start with one. For example, the like $8 house that you can buy on the Crown store, the Steebloom Villa house, that comes with a dining furnishing off the bat. So if you've already got that house, just check there with the retrieve thing. If you've just to check if you've already got it. Next up, Thieves Troves. So this is what a Thieves Trove looks like. So I'll just get up here for a sec, and then let me just turn the music off. It's like a very faint, low-pitch ringing noise it makes when you get close to it. So just listen out for that if you're really close. But yeah, just also note you have to loot the whole thing. If you just loot like half of it, it won't count. You have to loot the entire thing. Same with chests. Now, these troves, they're probably one of the most annoying nodes, I think, to find, because unlike the rest of them, there's just like nowhere near as many in a zone. But let me show you something that can really help you out. So this is the UESP interactive map. So when it starts off, you can you get all the zones in the game, and if you enter one, for example, I'm in Stonefalls now. If you scroll in, you'll get like more things that show up as like little icons. The ones you're interested in are the blue chest icons, because these are all the Thieves Trove locations that people have found in the past. So what you can do is you can find your favorite zone and just scroll in and just keep an eye on where the Thieves Troves are, because in that case, you can just look around, and while they won't always be there, like it's pretty common that you'll just get there and there won't be anything. This is, I think, the best way to look around for Thieves Troves, because otherwise it's just kind of a throwing a fucking knife in the dark. It's just, yeah, I find it's a lot less reliable. The only other thing is there's also an add-on. There's an image I'll link as well in the description. I'll link both of these in the description if you want to have a look. There's a Tianlane did a image of the map for Vardenfell, where he's gone. I don't know who they are, have gone through and found every single Thieves Trove location, aside from like maybe a few that they've found when they were doing. I think they were doing a safe box thing. But yeah, they have like heaps of them. There's like 20 all over Vardenfell. Yeah, you can have a look at that one too. Yeah, I think the UESP interactive map is far better to use though, myself. But I'll make sure they're both there if you want to have a look. Also, this does require you to have the Thieves Guild at some point in order to do this. If you've got, if you don't have the DLC itself, but you have used the DLC in the past, as long as you've unlocked the Thieves Guild skill line, Finders Keepers will be active, and this is actually what allows you to use these things. So if you were around when ESO Plus was on free trial, and you interacted with a Thieves Trove, or you did part of the Thieves Guild, you'll be able to use these troves. Otherwise, it'll just tell you that you need the DLC. But you don't actually need the DLC to use these. You just need to actually have this passive here. Once you've got this, you're good. Next up, catching fish. Now this one is a little bit lengthier than the others, I think, but it's pretty simple and it's pretty chill. So I think this is a good option too. So firstly, what I suggest you do is get your hands on some river insect parts, so insect parts as river fishing bait. The best place for this, I think, is to use Skyshroud Burrow here in Bleakrock Isle. I'll show you how to get here if you haven't been here before in a sec. There are torch bugs all over the place in Skyshard Barrow. Fucking heaps of them. There's also some, you can look for some ruby ash wood too, or just like rough wood nodes. If you want some heartwood for the dining furnishings, you can look for them too over here. Yeah, what you're just looking for mostly... Oh wow, there's also a fucking Thieves Trove here. How about that? Probably everything. So yeah, you get the point. Just looking for some insect parts with some torchbug thoraxes as well on the side if you can get those, because you can sell those for some gold. But yeah, main thing you're looking for is the insect parts, because those are what you use to catch fish with. Now, I'd recommend you get at least 10, maybe go for 15, just to be safe, because sometimes you'll use the fishing bait and it won't actually give you a fish. Just a little bit of an RNG issue with fishing in this game. But yeah, you shouldn't really need any more than 15 at any point, I don't think. So yeah, just going through there, I've got 15, that's enough. But yeah, you can see there's tons of them all over the place through here. Sometimes they'll be in different places, sometimes they'll just be nothing. If a group of players have come through and looted them, just keep running around a bit. They should spawn pretty quick. Like they respawn pretty quick usually, and there's lots of them. You just have to keep an eye on like the trees that are further out. Like for example, this one here. There's a bunch there. The trees over here as well. Yeah, it's a fairly wide area that you can find the torch bugs all over the place here. Let me show you how to get here if you haven't been here before. There's more maple there if you want to use that for heartwood. Wherever you are, go to the nearest wayshrine, go to Stonefalls, Davon's Watch. You have this wayshrine by default. From here, you're travelling to the docks. Go past the Fighters Guild, up the stairs here. Down here. And the NPC is down there in that little bit of seaside. So this here is your NPC, Lizel. So talk to her. I need to arrange transport. I'd like to go to Bleakrock. Now this isn't the only place you can get insect parts, but I find it's just so good for how much there is all over the place. Another good location, as an example though, would be in Hrothgar if you've got this DLC. Trader's Roadway Shrine around here has a shit ton of butterflies and torchbugs all over the place. Yeah, there's other places, but those are the two I usually go for. So once you've got all your insect parts, now what I like to do is use this section here. You can see all the little fishing holes I've found. So yeah, I love using this place. There's others, like for example, you can go Cragmorn. This river side here has a bunch of fishing holes, river fishing holes. There's lake ones here. Not a good idea to use insect parts for those though, because it's a different fishing hole type. There's some river fishing spots around like areas like this, for example, in Vardenfell. Yeah, you just got to know where to look, basically. Yeah, my stomping grounds is the river here in Stonefalls, and it doesn't matter how many people are usually here, because the fishing holes will spawn, or like respawn, as fast as they get depleted. Now, if you haven't been here before, I haven't got these wayshrines yet. It's pretty easy to get here. Just go to Home Tours, browse homes. You can either find Ebonheart Chateau or the Ebony Flask Inn Room. It's one of the houses for free that you can get through through doing the dining furnishings stuff, if you've already seen that. So any character with the Ebonheart Pact alliance, you talk to Philan Demery, you can get that house for free. But yeah, if you want to travel to somebody else's instead, when you get here, just travel out the door, and this will take you to Stonefalls, quite close to the riverside. It's another reason why I like this one, because it's easy to get to, and there's a wayshrine right next door too. So once you've got that wayshrine, it's really, really easy from there. So there's a wayshrine here for Ebonheart, and there's a bunch of guild traders here. So if you want to pick up some insect parts through the guild stores, you can also use that too. It's convenient there. But mind you, well, insect parts are probably one of the cheapest. They're found in miscellaneous. Yeah, it's 12 gold a piece, so they're not too bad. Usually the other ones are worse. So before you start, just make sure you get this wayshrine up here, because now you got easy access whenever fishing comes up. So there are a few torch bugs around here too that you can grab. I'll leave them there for other people if they need them. I don't... So yeah, what you're looking for is splashing in the water. Here's an example here. We've got the river fishing hole right here. So when you find one, and there's another one in the background there, this is a different thing. This is a pure water spring, so ignore this one here. But yeah, this stuff here is what you're looking for, and you can do it from quite far away. So whatever the interact button here is, just hold that, and the fishing bait wheel will come up here. So we want insect parts, and we want shad. Now shad you probably won't have many of, but insect parts is really easy to get. That's why I suggested you get a bunch. So we'll just arm this, and then you press the button to interact, you'll start your fishing, and now we just wait. Now we press E when your character starts doing a different animation. As you can see there, we got some fish roe. That doesn't actually count as a fish. That's why you want to keep have some more spares, just in case. Because yeah, it's just, there's no skill involved with this really, it's just chance. Usually you'll get fish, but not always. There we go, so we got a salmon. So you just continue that process until you get to all the fish that you need. Hold on, let me just remove these, because that's getting in the way. There we go. There it is, catch fish. And then immediately you can just press E and your character will do it when they get out of the animation. So yeah, you can see why it's really chill. You just do this and just press E a bunch of times, essentially. Just watch YouTube in the background or something while you do this. There's another one. There's an add-on you can get that gives you like it adds like a noise when it's going to, when you can like reel it in. Just if you're like looking at something else at the same time, if you want to pay attention to that, you can use that, I think. I'll link that in the description too, if you want to take a gander at that. But yeah, it's not much involved in this. Just press E, have your character fish, and as soon as you see the animation change, as soon as you see the fishing rod go upwards, just press E. So right now, and there you go. So yeah, just keep doing that. If the river fishing hole runs out, I'll show you where all the different locations are. So there's a bunch through here. You can see all the locations with the fishing spots here. So yeah, a couple here, a couple here, a couple over here. Now there's one over here that's actually a foul fishing hole. This one here, it'll be foul. So in that case, the fishing roe that you get from the insect parts, these will count for the foul bait. Now what happens if you use a different bait type to this? If you use insect parts in the foul hole, it just means that it'll give you a lower chance of actually getting fish. It'll give you other shit otherwise. So yeah, it's not a good idea to use other bait types, but you can. It won't prevent you. This lava also apparently doesn't exist. You can just stand in it. It does up to a certain point, but this bit here is, yeah, it's fine. Now there's more fishing holes over here, just at the edge of the water. Oh, the waterfall, sorry. And yeah, there's another one there, you can see that. If there's none there, just come up here. Go past the way shrine, up here. There's more insect parts too if you want to grab them. But yeah, basically go to where the waterfall top is, and there'll be a couple more here. And then there'll be more further up this way. There's just a couple more over here. Yeah, after that, there's nothing else really. And yeah, just do that 8 times. That's the endeavor done. It's pretty chill. Okay, taking a keep. So in Cyrodiil, each campaign has 18 keeps in total. So firstly, you need to make sure you go to a keep where there are keeps to take. Sometimes you'll get to a campaign and it'll just be completely one-sided. My advice here, try and go for Alliance Locked, because this tends to be the one with the most action. But yeah, sometimes you can get a campaign where one side is just starting to take over everything, and you might be able to get an easy keep take on that, because you can basically do what's known as PvD, PvDoring, play versus dooring, where you just knock the door down and there's no opposition. Now, as far as taking a keep goes, you need to either you crack the outer wall basically, and then you crack the inner wall, which is the actual full building here. So the keeps will look a bit different, but the idea is always the same. So it's always going to be an outer wall. There's a keep door with the outer wall, and then there's the inner door, and then the inner post stone walls on the sides. So you can either punch through the door here. That's the quickest way, but it's the easiest for the enemies to defend. So if there's enemies already, might not be a good idea. Just depending on how organized they are. It's very easy to get oils down and just obliterate everyone on a battering ram. Or you can actually break the walls too. It's slower, but it's easier to get in, I find, than trying to get through the door, usually. And then once you're in the courtyard, you got to kill the guards, and then you either set up at the front door here, which is quicker, but again, easier to defend. Or you need to go to the sides and push the post-stone walls. These can be shot with like ballistas and trebuchets to break them down too, and then you get through here, and then you'll get into the yoke of the keep. You've got the 2 flags here, so these need to be taken in order for the keep to be to flip. So these are the most important part, the part that matters. So you have to kill the guards on these, and then sit on the flags for a while, and they'll get taken. Now you can do this on your own, but I do not recommend it because it is slow. It is stressful killing all these guards on your own, and all it takes is for a single player to notice what's going on, come in from a different keep, kill you, and then you have to respawn at one of your keeps, and it takes ages, and it's just risky, and it's low reward, really, considering that it's only 10 seals today, and these other options are like really chill and really easy. Yeah. If you can find a group, though, to do it, it can be pretty quick, because the flags will get taken quicker depending on how many players there are. Now, you need siege in order to break a keep. You can't do it without it, unless you've got Volendrung, but that's just like a completely specific and like rare circumstance you can find yourself in. So you need to get these from quartermasters. Keeps and all like gate areas will have a quartermaster where you can get siege weapons. You can also buy these from guild stores, and I would recommend doing that too if you can, because most of these are pretty cheap on guild stores. For example, these ballistas here, they're only 100 gold usually on guild stores. Yeah, 200 there. Oh god. What about normal ballistas? What are they? Yeah, normal ballistas. There's only one, but yeah, you might be able to get these from guild stores. But usually they cost AP. Now, for a very quick rundown on what to use, battering rams, great for the doors. It's the quickest way to get into a keep using a battering ram, but it's the easiest to defend against, because chuck some oils in the battering ram, the players die. That's it. You're done, basically. Ballistas, they do more damage a second than trebuchets, but they have shorter range. Trebuchets can be fired from a fucking crazy distance away. There are some instances where, like, you can sit up on a hill really far away, and you can hit the walls from so far away that players can't actually see the explosion effect, because the missile actually de-renders. And yeah, it's like a strategy that players can use. It's like silent keep taking, and you can actually flag keeps without anybody actually hearing anything going on. It's quite bullshit and crazy. But yeah, those are the 3. So stone trebuchets from long range, packed ballistas, just regular ballistas. Don't use fire ballistas on walls and doors, though. They are very weak on doors. They're really good against players, but they do fuck all damage to walls. You want normal ballistas, you want stone trebuchets, and you want battering rams. Those are the 3 wooden horse siege items of the keep apocalypse. Okay, so that's enough information, I think. If you got any questions about any of the stuff here, you know how it is. Just chuck a comment in, or if you got some insights. I'm not the PvP expert. I'd love to have some more interesting nuggets of information for keeps if you want to add it. But yeah, I don't want to show you how to take a keep, because I don't want this video coming out like bloody midnight. It's just way too much. But yeah, for now, that should be enough. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to your support as always. Take care for now. I'll see you next time.